Chapter 13. Staying connected. Let's learn communication, means of communication, personal communication, mass communication. Communication is about sending and receiving information or the transmission of information from one party to another using symbols. It involves at least two persons, that is, a sender and a receiver. Effective communication occurs only if the receiver understands the exact information or idea that the sender intended to transmit. Early human beings expressed their feelings without using any words. They drew pictures on the walls of caves to express themselves. It was only about 5,000 years ago that human beings were able to write. In earlier times, people used to send messages through messengers or pigeons as there were no other means of communication. People also used codes for sending messages over distance. Ships still use flags to give and receive signals. However, with the development of science and technology, many new ways of communication were introduced. Means of communication. Earlier, messages and letters were delayed or even lost. However, nowadays, we can send written messages or communicate within a few seconds from and to any part of the world. There are two kinds of communication: personal communication and mass communication. Personal communication. Personal communication begins when two or more people are aware of each other. It is mainly between family and friends and not for public knowledge. Some means of personal communication are as follows. Brain tickler. Why were messages and letters delayed earlier? Post office. Every city and nearly all the villages of our country have post offices. We can buy postcards, inland letters, envelopes and stamps from the post office. We can also send parcels and money through money orders to our friends and relatives. This method of communication costs very little. Quick mail service and speed post have also been started in cities. A PIN, that is postal index number, code is a number allotted to the post office where the letter finally reaches. Telegraph. Messages could be sent to any part of the world in few hours by means of a telegram. This was done through the telegraph offices. The telegraphic messages were brief and sent in Morse code. Morse code is a language of dots and dashes. Telegraph service is a part of history now and has been discontinued in India. InfoHive. From 15th July 2013 onwards, the service of telegram has been discontinued due to its less use. Telephone. Telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. It is the fastest means of communication. Today, we can talk to people in far-off cities or even in different countries through the STD and ISD. Telephone facilities are available in all cities, towns and most of the villages these days. They are better and much cheaper than before. The most important service provider in India is BSNL, Airtel, Vodafone, Idea and Reliance are some well-known private mobile service provider in India. We use mobile phones nowadays. These wireless devices can be carried anywhere. We can also send SMS, that is, short messaging service, through the mobile phones. In recent years, smartphones have become quite popular. We can surf the internet, send emails, messages, pictures, songs, etc. through these smartphones. Fax. A fax, that is facsimiles, is the telephonic transmission of scanned in printed material. We can send and receive text or images by transmitting them through telephone wires. Email. We can also send messages by electronic mail and the internet to any part of the world through computers. The internet is a worldwide computer network by which a user can connect his computer to another computer in any part of the world. Email is a very inexpensive means of communication. We can send the message to a recipient by specifying the recipient's address. An email address looks like this: abc@abcdabcd.com. InfoHive. We can also send the same email message to several users at once. This is called broadcasting. Mass communication. When we communicate with a large group of people at one time, we have to use means of mass communication. Newspapers, radio, magazines, television, etc. are some examples of means of mass communication. Brain tickler. When and where was the first newspaper published? Newspapers and magazines. Newspapers, magazines, and journals inform us about the developments around the world. They give us opinions, information, and latest news of interest from every corner of the world in printed format. The important news is written as headlines. Advertisements are also printed in the newspapers under the classified section. Newspapers were first published in countries like Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands in the 17th century. Later, they spread to countries all over the world. In India, newspaper and magazines are published in English, Hindi, and regional languages. They are a cheap mode of communication. Radio. Radio is widely used as a mass communication medium.
It was invented by an Italian named Guglielmo Marconi in 1886.
Radio is a source of education and news, as well as entertainment. It is effective not only in informing the people but also in creating awareness regarding many social issues. The radio is very useful, especially to the people in rural areas where it is still very popular. The FM channel has recently become a great favorite with the youth. It is the most portable of the broadcast media, being accessible at home, in the office, in the car, almost everywhere at any time. InfoHive. The Bengal Gazette was India's first newspaper, which was published on January 29, 1780. InfoHive. In India, the official television broadcaster is Doordarshan, launched in New Delhi on 15 September 1959. Brain tickler. How does the internet allow interpersonal communication as well as group communication? Television. Among all the mass media today, television attracts the largest number of viewers. Television was invented by John Logie Baird in 1926. It has been able to influence the people living in remote areas of our country. Its ability to transmit live events, that is, sports, news, etc., as they happen, makes it the most powerful medium for mass communication. With teleconferencing, the television can transmit events happening at more than one place at once. Internet. The Internet is a global system of interconnected computer network. E-shopping, e-banking, and downloads are possible through the Internet. There are millions of websites on the Internet. Whenever we want any information about anything in the world, the Internet is ready to help. That is why it is also called the information superhighway. Today, the Internet is the most powerful medium of information exchange. InfoHive. Through social networking, we can interact with a group of friends located all over the world simultaneously. Facebook and Twitter are the most popular social networking sites. Cinema. Cinema is a source of entertainment. It is also a source of knowledge. It is a very effective means of conveying ideas and thoughts to a large number of people. It has a great impact on not only the youth but also on children. Through short films called documentaries on social issues like dowry deaths, child marriage, women empowerment, etc., people learn about real life situations. Cinema is a very popular means of mass communication across the world. Advertisement. Advertisements are also an effective means of mass communication. They give us information about products and services available globally. Advertisements in newspaper and magazines reach only a few people. Advertisements on radio and television can reach everyone. Nowadays, the internet is also used for advertising. Recap. Communication means exchange of ideas, thoughts, or information between two or more people. In earlier times, people used to send messages through messengers or pigeons. Smartphones have made communication faster, cheaper, and easier. Newspapers, magazines, and journals inform us about the developments around the world. E-shopping, e-banking, and downloads are possible through the internet. Values for life. Never use any means of communication to hurt anyone's feeling or to spread misinformation.